So, you want to make a pact with the demon? Well, before you sign your name on that dotted line, you need to watch this video. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's King Brujo, the priest of the Temple of Indigenous Spiritualism. And I just wanted to cover a topic that a lot of people bring up to me, that I hear throughout, when people find out that I practice voodoo. And that is this thing of, selling your soul or making a pact with a demon or a contract. These different words that they, or phrases, right, that kind of, they're alluding to the same type of thing. So I just wanted to break it down to, what is making a contract with a demon, or making a pact with a demon. What does it look like? You know what I'm saying? What does that entail? What does it even mean? You know what I'm saying? Because people can have a habit of just saying words that they heard, but not really understanding the nature of what it is that they're talking about. So first things first, let's get into the true meaning of what a demon is. All right, that's the first thing. We got to understand the etymology of demon, because that's a word that gets thrown around. So let's look at the etymology behind demon. So demon is a Greek word that started out as daemon, and that meaning is deity, genius. As you see it progressing into more modern day, look at the Latin, how it changes into lesser or evil spirit. So that is the advent of the church. All right, so that's the church is doing. The church basically changed the meaning of daemon, which originally just meant deity, into lesser or evil spirit. All right, so let's get deeper into this. All right, because now we getting somewhere, because it's a method to my madness. All right, it's all gonna come together. Just work with me. Now let's get into the Greek definition of demon, which is where the word came from. So the classical Greek daemon in Greek religion, a supernatural power. In Homer, the term is used almost interchangeably with theos for a god. The distinction there is that theos emphasizes the personality of the god, and demon his activity. Okay, so now we getting deeper. The original meaning of demon was just a supernatural power. Okay, let's run that again. The real root definition of demon was a supernatural power. That's nothing more, nothing less. Now, as we progressed, the church changed some things around, and now we have the modern Webster definition of demon. But before we get into that, let me get into the definition of deity, because some people don't know that definition truly. So deity, the rank or essential nature of a god, the divinity. All right. Or also deity can mean God, supreme being, a god or goddess, one exalted or revered as supremely good or powerful. Now that's an important definition of deity. One exalted or revered as supremely good or powerful. Because now when we get into that definition of a deity, now this is where Jesus falls into that category. This is where Muhammad falls into that category. This is where Buddha falls into that category, right? So by the original sense of the Greek definition, Jesus is a demon, Buddha is a demon, Muhammad is a demon. by the definition of what the Greeks put forth for the word demon, they originated the word. The church went and shifted the word and made it their own. All right, just like they did so many other words. But the root definition, we're going to get deeper into that. Now, let's get into what Webster made it today. So today's definition of demon: an evil spirit, a source or agent of evil, harm, distress, or ruin. Okay. Now they still have the original definitions of demon mixed in with the more new age one. You see? So usually daemon, an attendant, power or spirit. Power or spirit. Look at the third definition. Mythology, a supernatural being whose nature is intermediate between that of a god and that of a human being. That sounds a lot like Jesus too. Jesus is the intermediate between God and humans, right? Okay, so understand these definitions, because people just be throwing this demon word around. They don't even know what the hell it came from, what they're talking about. They still living. They're saying that they're in the spiritual realm, but they're not understanding duality. So for that, you might as well just be in church, right? Now, another definition for demon is one that has exceptional enthusiasm, drive, or effectiveness. A demon for work. Doug, pudding like a demon, had birdies on the 3rd and 6th. Okay, so that's another definition for demon. So by this definition, it's interesting, you know, a supernatural being whose nature is intermediate between that of a god and that of a human being. Now, having said all that, you know, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, love and light people. Okay. I hate to be the bearer of bad news to my churchgoers. I hate to be the bearer of bad news to my brothers and sisters in the mosque. I really don't hate to be the bearer of bad news. I actually love to be the bearer of bad news. I ain't even gonna cap, you know what I'm saying? You know, but listen, all of that y'all doing is all demonic, because it's all dealing with the supernatural. It's all dealing with supreme beings. It's all dealing with gods and goddesses. So all of that falls into the category of demonic. You think that it's not demonic because you're talking about chakra systems. The chakras are demonic because it's supernatural. So by the definition of what you're saying, when you say demon, from the people that made that word, even the chakra system is demonic. And it's funny because when you actually know the true meaning of the chakras, you will understand that the chakras is not all roses and sunflowers. East Indians utilized their chakras to fight against the British. Okay. So they utilized the powers of the chakras to kill people, to get them out of India. All right. So like I said, even if you want to utilize it by the modern Webster dictionary form of demon, it's still demonic. All right. So let's not play this supremacy game in the spiritual realm where you think just because you on the side of like Hinduism and chakras that it's not demonic. No, they even give blood sacrifices to Hindu deities. Bet a lot of y'all didn't know that. Okay. So understand that when we talking about this stuff, all of it is demons, whether it's Jesus, whether it's Legba, whether it's Barwan Samdi, whether it's Muhammad, whether it's one of the many Buddhas, whether it's Kalima or Shiva or Dambala Wedu, who is purity, or Obatala, who wears the white cloth. All of this falls into the category of demons. All of it. All of it is demonology. All of it falls in, it's just different sides of the polarity. Each one of these demons has polarities to itself. Each one of them have a pros and cons to it. Okay, and that's just how it flows. So now that we understand that ground, we can understand what it's like to make a pact with the demon. So what is a pact with the demon? Basically, a pact with a demon or a contract with a demon is an agreement between you and that entity. That's it. It's an agreement between you and that entity. Now, what is required of that pact changes according to the entity you making the deal with. So, for instance, when Christians come into Christianity and they make their pact with Jesus Christ, Jesus take their soul. They give their soul to Jesus. They give everything to Jesus. Literally, they give their soul to Jesus in the return that they will go to heaven and not hell when they die. So that's their deal. That's their contract with Jesus Christ. Even listen to the prayers. So lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep you. Okay, so I'm not making this up. Okay, this is the reality of what that is. But people don't read their Bibles and people don't understand the bigger picture of what's actually happening because they don't cross study traditions and different religions to understand what I'm even talking about. But Jesus actually requires more of you than a lot of demons and other pantheons. Jesus really does require a lot. Damn, you want my whole soul, bro? Like, shit. Feel for a spot in heaven, like, you know what I'm saying? That's their deal. So now I'm gonna give you an example of like what a pact or a contract with a demon might look like in another form. So with me, I have contracts with several demons, right? Different entities that I deal with for different reasons, different purposes. You got to remember, I am a voodoo priest. I practice Puerto Rican sanse, all right, or what they call Puerto Rican voodoo. And so, with that being said, I do work for other people and things of that nature. So, I have more demons that I have contracts with. The average person doesn't need to deal with as many entities as me. One, your ancestors and one or two nature spirits will definitely be more than enough. Trust me. Um, once it gets more than that, it's a big responsibilities because you got, come on now. So let's look at what a pact of minds looks like. Just just digging a little bit into King Brujo's life, a little bit personal. So with me, I have a contract basically with Papa Leva. All right. Now, my contract with Papa Leva is a continuation of my grandmother's, right? Now, she worked with Papa Leva through the energy of Saint Lazaro. So in Puerto Rican sanse, which she practiced sanse, she was a sansista. She did work for people, all kind of stuff. She had a temple in her house with saints all over the place. So in sanse, Saint Lazaro is used to represent Papaleva. But in like Orisha traditions, like if you go over into Lukumi or Santaria, you will often Candomblé, you will often find Saint Lazaro as a representative of Babaluaye. All right. So, when you get into those Orisha traditions, Saint Lazaro is often used to channel in Babaluaye, but in Puerto Rican sanse and 21 divisions, I believe even in Haitian voodoo, people utilize the image of Saint Lazarus, or what we say in the Latin community, Saint Lazaro, San Lazaro, right? So basically, how it looks is like this. I take care of Legba, and in return, Papa Leva gives me guidance. He keeps the door of opportunities open. He keeps me in communication with the Loases, with the Loa, or the nature spirits. All right, that's what Loa is. It's a law of nature, nature spirits, you know. So basically, he keeps me into contact with the Loa and with the world around me. All right. And that is basically my contract with Papa Leva. And so what that looks like is regularly, you know, I make sure that I serve Papa Leva. I make sure that I give him the offerings needed, you know, to satisfy his end of the bargain. And in return, he satisfies my end of the bargain. All right. And I didn't have to give him my soul like Jesus. Like Jesus take your whole soul. You really do. You got to give it to him. Like, but Legba don't want your whole soul. You know, he just wants you to look him out. You know what I'm saying? With some coffee or, you know, I ain't gonna say too much. I gotta join the mentorship for that. But you know, Papa Leba is a simple man. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, that's just a look into one of my pacts with a demon. All right. So moving along. So okay, now this is you know I got to give y'all both sides of it. I'm not one that just try to make things look like everything be peachy cream and all that. Nah, some demons is dangerous. All right. Some demons are less forgiving. You see on my neck, you know, I wear my baton de cementerio, you know, the skull and crossbone on my neck for baon. That's a more advanced type of thing. I don't even want to get into that relationship with the Getty. But there are other deities that are less forgiving. There are other deities that if you break them pacts, ooh, it's hell to pay. You know, ain't no, like, it's blood in and blood out. Like, once you make a pact with them, ain't no turning back. You done joined the mob. Like, it's, you feel me? It's like that. So with certain deities, you got to understand what it is that you're working with, what type of deities that you're connecting to and making these contracts with when you're dealing with the supernatural. Because if you're not careful, you can find yourself in a terrible position and your life could just fall apart in 2 seconds because you're not honoring the pact. You thinking you're going to get out, you know, you're going to get what you want out of it and then you're going to get out. No, some spirits, they don't play that. They don't play that type of game. You know what I'm saying? I don't really want to get into the names of too many of that on this video, but just know that once you get into certain realms dealing with certain spirits, it's not like that where you just think you're going to just make your deals and keep it pushing. Nah, y'all in it together, blood in and blood out. You feel me? And you can't break that pact. You cannot, because that shit'll fall on your children. You feel me? Like it goes past you. It'll fall on your children and boom, so on and so on and so on. So with certain entities, if you're not advanced or you're not ready to really be blood in and blood out with that spirit, don't deal with it. Don't deal with it for the sake of dealing with it because you just getting into these different cultures and you want to just be jumping in and attaching to this. You want to be powerful and dark and that. No, that's not what this is. That's not what this is. That's why in certain traditions, you know, the priest would just line you up with the one that's for you and say, this one is the one that you need to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is why in traditions they have structure. You get like, so like in Orisha traditions, you get crowned, right? You get crowned, or you know who rules your head, your Ori. And based on these divinations that the Babas do, from there you will know if even you're supposed to work with your Ori, with the Orisha that rules your Ori. Because your Ori, you know, everybody gonna honor their Ori, but the Orisha that rule your Ori, everybody is not even to do that. Okay, so you gotta understand that that's why these people are in place to guide you on who to work with when you want to go into this realm. Even in sanse, There's things that are done to know what spirits are in your court, what spirits are in your corner, or you inheriting your grandparents' spirits, but you're not really moving too far outside of that. Get what I'm saying? Because it's lineal, it's lineage, it's ancestral stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? So it's deep. So another thing I want to get into is actually what a good pact or contract looks like. Don't get into bad contracts with demons. A bad contract is like to me personally, the Jesus thing is a bad contract, because why? Damn, I don't even see the result until I die, and I don't even know what's going on after I die. You feel me? So to me, it's like, damn, like, you saying I have certain blessings on earth, but I gotta live meek, whatever. Like, to me, that's a no-go. Now, if you want to make that pact with Jesus, all power to you. Shout out to you. That's what's up. Me personally, to me, that's not a good contract, because the result is too far down the line. I'm alive right now, and I don't even believe that I'm going to heaven or hell when I die. So I don't even buy into that concept. So to me, that's a no-go on the contract tip. A bad contract is a contract where you are coming into an agreement with the demon and you're not getting very much out of that, but that demon is getting so much. That's why I use the Jesus example, because Jesus literally requires you to give him your soul. Jesus literally requires you to like read his word and attend. Like, it's so much in that book. Y'all gonna say, oh, it don't say I gotta go to church, but you gotta worship. Come on, like, you have to find some way to worship. That's the easiest kind of way where y'all can just fellowship together. And then there's other things in the word where you are entitled to have to preach the gospel to people, right? So like, Jesus just requires a lot. Then on top of that, the offerings and stuff that you give to Jesus. So that's a lot for me to get the reward. So many years, people live what, 80 something years now, damn near 90. Some people hitting 100, right? That's too long. I'm in the physical right now. I'm lit right now. I need right now stuff. That's me. That's just how I rock. Y'all don't gotta rock like King Brujo. Y'all don't got to. You can make whatever pact with whatever demon you want to make. If you want to make that pact with Muhammad, damn it, make that pact with Muhammad and ride out. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to tell you who to make pacts with or who not to make pacts with. I'm just here to give you the perspective from an actual person in the practice, in the culture, that deal with a lot of demons. That's it. You feel me? To me, a good pact look like this. A very clear intention of what I want out of the deal, and for me to be able to serve in a way that's not too taxing in comparison to what I'm getting out the deal. That is a good contract. We both walk away happy. We're not really walk away, but we both are happy with the deal. It's a beautiful marriage, and we can move forward in life, and it's right next to me, and it's moving things out the way and creating those things that already, that's what I wanted it to do. Boom. Good deal. You feel me? And that's why I say, y'all don't have to go making deals with all these different entities and this. Y'all don't gotta do that. Ancestors, which is a pact in itself, and it's supernatural, so it's a pact with the demon. Ancestors fall in that category too. So, that is a great one. Always. Ancestors are more lenient than the nature spirits can be, or like the religious figures can be. And also, along with the ancestors, which you can work very effectively. Really, a lot of people can get through life with just ancestors, straight up. But, some people want to turn it up a notch. Okay, well, maybe along with ancestors, you deal with another entity. Right there, that's really enough. You know what I'm saying? if you a person that's got a little bit more with you, where like maybe you have bigger ambitions to do certain things, well, maybe a extra one is added into that. You know what I'm saying? But when we get into somebody working with as many entities like a Baba or a Palero or a Voodoo Isan, or some of these other practitioners, that is because we are helping others. You get what I'm saying? A lot of time that is because we are helping others, for one. And for two, some of us have ELIS, some of us have houses with people under us, some of us get to the point where our names get bigger, so we need extra protections and stuff like that to keep us safe. So it's a lot of reasons why a person that's in a priest position could work with different entities like that. You know what I'm saying? But it's a reason for it. So with that being said, family, that's what it is. Be wise in your decision making. I'm not going to tell you what to do, how to do it. I'm just going to say, be wise in your decision making and look into what that entity actually is requiring of you, and what are you getting out of it when you go into that agreement with that entity. That's what I'm going to say. And for those who want to learn more, you already know, come join the mentorship, get this information, and you can get guided that way. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what it is, family. And with that being said, I love y'all and I'm out. Ashe.